One second. I'm sorry.
No, you good. You finna feed the ducks, baby. What's up? How you doing, people? Welcome to episode 21 of Like Father, Like Son Sports. With me, the dad, Eric T. Jackson, my firstborn, Tyler A. Sims. And as you can see, it looks a little different because he's in studio today.
Oh, that's not
studio together.
That's not the only thing that's different. If you guys could want to check something out.
Hey,
you want to check something out? Got a new hairstyle I'm rocking with.
Got his new boys in the hood style, baby.
So today it's a live episode, as you guys can tell, and we may touch on sports a little bit at the end of the show, but for the most part, for the majority of the show, we just gathered some questions that we're going to ask one another, and we're just going to have a little chat session. We're just going to talk about these things. And yeah, that's going to be a little different than it usually is, but also kind of the same, because we still do this, just not in majority.
This is what we do.
Yeah. So, hope you guys are ready. Yeah. Do you want to go first, or?
Hey man, this is your show, baby.
Okay.
You tell me what's going on.
All right. Well, I'll ask you this first question. Okay, you ready? So, Dad. Question number one.
Don't make me cry, man.
Nope. I will be asking about that a little later, though. What was the hardest year or decade, or what has been the hardest year or decade of your life so far?
Okay. So, decades. Wow. 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, teens, 20s. So this is like the sixth decade of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know these. I didn't want to know the questions beforehand, so I gotta think a little bit over 6 decades. The hardest probably was the young adult stage decade. I would say, which is the 2010s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the 2010s were tough, trying to figure yourself out. Graduated college, trying to find a career path that I enjoy, that makes money, all of that at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Having a son, having to go through the legal system, paying child support, all while not being where I want to be in life,
Mm-hmm.
right? Going back to school, all that happened in 2010s. Went to grad school, went back to grad school, and so, and I ended up finding the career that I wanted at the end of the 2010s. Started coaching in 2008.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you ask me the toughest decade of my 6-decade life would be the 2010s, from 2000 to 2010. Yes,
So 2000s.
Well, it's 10s because then you got it's the 2000s. Yeah, the 10s would be 10 to 20.
Yeah.
So the 2000s, I guess. Yeah, 2000 to 2010. I was 25 to 35.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be the toughest decade of my life.
Okay.
And hopefully it just gets easier and easier from there, man. Yeah. Was that satisfactory?
Yeah, that works. That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
Okay, all right. So I gotta start you off like a lot of tests. I just gotta give you simple questions first, then get to the big stuff.
All right.
Is your name Tyler Austin Sims?
That is my name, yes. Tyler Austin Sims. Mm-hmm.
Oh, are you from Wichita, Kansas?
I am, but when people ask me that question, I'll generally default to, I'm from Wichita, but I am from a lot of different places. I've lived in a lot of different places.
So
Fun
where were
fact,
you born? Tell the
I
people.
was born in Orange County, Texas, right?
Yeah.
Yep, Orange
Yeah.
County, Texas. Mm-hmm.
Oh
2000.
shucks. Oh shucks.
And June 15th.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A week before my 25th birthday.
There it is.
So he was a birthday gift. 3 years before I knew he was. Oh, your favorite color, man? Tell me.
My favorite color is yellow.
Really?
Yep.
I don't think I knew that.
What would you have guessed?
Blue,
No.
green.
Green second.
Oh, green second.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay,
Mhm.
okay. Yeah, yellow, not bad, man. Yellow is a nice color.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What gets your mad on?
What ups? Whew. See,
Get your mad on. Let me talk to. So I was talking to this girl from Austin,
mm-hmm.
and she always used to use the phrase, "I get my mad on," or and stuff. But I thought that was unique,
Yeah, it definitely is.
so I use it sometimes. So I'll use it in this instance. What gets your mad on?
That's tough because I used to be a very angry person. I used to get mad very easily. And I used to show it and be very violent. I
Yeah.
mean, I wasn't attacking people, but I would hit things like walls,
Uh-huh.
trees,
Uh-huh.
the ground, whatever I could. So I do a good job, I like to think, of not getting upset or angry in that
Okay.
manner. But when I do, maybe when I get upset about something
Mhm.
and it seems obvious to me why I would be upset about that,
Mhm.
but the person that is also involved in it doesn't think it's a big deal. Like when
When
something,
you're mad,
yeah, when
you're
I'm upset,
mad, when you're
not
full
even-
throttle.
yeah, not even like when I'm like already over the edge, but when I'm getting to that point and you continue to talk in my face as though this isn't even that big of an issue,
That makes you mad.
yeah, it definitely gets me up there.
Hmm.
Or people trying to tell me, now this is it matters. There's levels to this, but I think the last time I was actually upset was someone trying to tell me who and what I can or can't do. Like, and it again, there's levels because
Yeah.
sometimes, yeah, you shouldn't be doing that, or you shouldn't be saying the things you're saying.
Mhm.
But I'm a sensible person. I can see when I shouldn't be doing or saying things.
Right.
So whenever I'm doing something that I think is perfectly fine,
Yeah.
and someone tries to tell me, "No, you got to cut that out," then that's just like I'm instantly gonna be upset. Not angry, not over the top,
Right.
but I am gonna get upset.
Yeah. Okay. All right, man.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. You're like me, man. Not a lot gets my mad on,
Mhm,
but I can get there.
mhm.
Like people at work, I'm just as congenial and affable as they come,
Yeah,
except when I'm not.
yeah,
And sometimes they be like, "Man, Taylor, quick it there."
yeah. That's what my friends do. My friends will be like, "Damn, Tyler, chill out." They didn't know I had that bone in me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I got you. Let's see. I got a few here. I'll just go with the one I said I would do later. What's the
Uh-oh.
last thing
Uh-oh.
that made you cry?
Uh-oh.
Real tears.
Wow. It's hard, right? It's hard for, OGs like myself. We don't cry that much.
Mm-hmm.
So the last thing that made me cry,
Mm-hmm.
maybe, you know what? Maybe a really bad argument with my girl.
Yeah.
I cried for a little bit, and when I thought we was gonna break up,
Mm-hmm.
I cried.
I like that.
Yeah, I think that might have been the last time I cried. Man.
Mm.
And we got back together. We're good.
Good.
Yeah. But,
Okay.
that wasn't a good feeling.
Okay. Yeah. I bet not.
What about you, man? I mean, you're younger. Do you cry?
I do cry.
You're not an OG, but
I do cry. Yeah.
Okay.
I think the last time I did, I was hanging out with a friend, and they told me that they saw someone that they shouldn't have seen, and because of what they went through with that person, it upset me that they would go out to see, like, that they would see them again and be willing to hang out with them again. After everything that they went through with that person and everything we went through with them as friends, it was just kind of like, I cried because, one, I can't believe you did that, and two, I don't want you to ever do that again. You know.
How long ago was that?
Maybe it was early September, I think, for my festival trip.
This was over.
No, I think it was actually right after I got back from the festival.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That why you didn't answer the phone those 2 weeks?
No. It was actually right after I got back. Yeah.
I was trying to blow you up, trying to figure out how the festival went.
I was sick though. I was sick. I honestly shouldn't even have been hanging out with nobody.
Your stomach was hurting. Yeah. When the relationships make your stomach hurt. Relationships get you sick sometimes.
Yeah. That's the last time I cried.
Okay, all right, man.
When I
was your age, I used to cry a lot.
Oh yeah, and
with my relationship,
even on the topic of crying, there was a point in time where I didn't cry, and whenever I would be so sad that I would, that you think you'd cry, I wouldn't, and I thought something was wrong with me. And then I got into a relationship with somebody, and I expressed that I feel like I didn't have that ability to cry anymore. And throughout that relationship, you know, we talked with each other, and we helped each other, and she helped me realize that I am still an emotional person, and I could cry, and I did cry when it came to that.
Yeah, man.
Crying, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, everybody. Got to get them tears out. They're gonna come out one way or another. You got to get them out. But,
absolutely, you don't want to get backed up.
You want to ask me another one since you bounced off mine, or you want me to ask you?
No, man. You know what? I come off the dome with mine. So what color are your eyes?
Brown, dark brown.
So no blue eyes?
No blue. Come on.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a question on camera that I asked you a long time ago. You were younger, and you was a G with it. Okay. I was like, okay, go ahead.
Okay.
So when he was younger, I asked him. I said, so because Josh was your best friend, he was black. And I asked Tyler. You don't know, I'm black. Tyler's mom is white. Mm-hmm. So I asked Tyler. I said, so Tyler, so what side do you consider? Do you relate to more or? No. Well, relate to is different. I asked him. I said, what do you consider yourself? And I know what he told me then. Let's see if it matches. What do you consider yourself, Tyler?
Well,
you didn't say well, but
I know. I'm sure I did.
G with it.
I don't remember what I said back then. I can imagine what I probably said.
You can imagine.
I probably said black, and that's what I would say now. But I do have to realize that I am both. I'm not one or the other. No matter how the world may see me, because I believe the world does see me as black. I mean, that's how
police see you.
That's how I'm referred to as by most people. But I do have to be conscious of the fact that I am.
And you recognize, and the different. This is a different question to ask you. If you recognize both sides, right? Because of course, you're both. Yeah. But to say, what do you consider yourself is a question, and there's another question that would say, what side do you gravitate towards more? Because that might be different.
That's hard though, because I feel like. Now it's both, because I've had black friends before, but a lot of my closest friends when I was younger were white, and now growing up being a young adult, I have a lot more black friends than I do. Well, no, there's probably like a healthy balance, but
I feel like it. All the videos you used to show me, I felt like you had a lot of white friends,
Yeah.
but I felt like your closest were black. I mean, I don't know how close the white ones were,
No,
but
super.
to me, you seemed to be like, well, the black ones are my best friend type of thing.
Well, yeah, well, I think I've had closest of close friends.
Mhm.
It's been a healthy mix.
Yeah.
For sure. Not
That's
too
what's
much on one side, not too much on the other. Because when I was a little boy, like middle school, I felt like a lot of black kids didn't want to hang out with me
Hmm.
because it's like you're too much of this.
Yeah.
But then there's white kids I want to be friends with, and they're like, "Oh, you're too much of that."
Yeah.
So you kind of just go where you can fit in.
I heard that before. And
It
it
is
is
an
the
issue.
craziest thing to me that people think like that.
They do.
Yeah.
And whether they genuinely believe those things or not, and they just act that way based on how everyone else is acting around them,
Yeah.
it's still the way people they treat people.
Right. Absolutely.
And I've been treated that way. So
But I guarantee you also have been treated like super good because of the complexion of your
yeah,
skin.
because I'm light skinned.
Yeah, and your
that's-
skin is caramel, and
yeah,
it's not all white, it's not all black.
yeah,
You know, so it's
There's
benefits,
pros and
pros
cons,
of
yeah.
both. You know what I'm saying?
for sure.
Yeah, and,
That's a
and-
good question.
yeah.
Sparks some
Mhm.
conversation. But moving on from that, let's see. How do you feel about our relationship as father and son?
So let's start with I'm very pleased right now because I feel like you're working on it.
Mm-hmm.
In the past, I didn't feel like you worked on it. I
Yeah,
felt like it was all me
definitely
trying
was.
to build that thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm very excited, and it's the little thing.
mm-hmm.
It's like answering the phone when I call.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like calling me or texting me
Mm-hmm.
first. Like Tyler does those things now at 24. He didn't at 20.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or 18. So you know, it's not like me. It's not like us talking every day. It's just him putting in effort. And so I feel like our relationship is growing, getting better. I feel like we're in the best place we've been.
Agreed.
Yeah, and I'm excited, man.
Yeah. Even right here, sitting right next to you in Texas, doing this episode live, it just feels kind of unreal because you're right. I did not try before, and it was a lot of you trying and me being like, yeah. 6 months later, hey, son, how are you doing? No response.
A lot of that made
A
me
lot.
cry. A lot of that did make me cry.
And I know it did, and it hurts to hear it, even though I knew it already. But it does. We are in the best position that we have been.
Yeah.
And it feels great.
But and I will say this: I've had a really good support system with friends and family that just continuously encourage me to not give up on him, to continue trying to reach out and cultivate. So I don't think I ever would have stopped,
Mhm.
right? That's just not in my nature. But it did help to have people on my team
And,
encouraging me.
and I will add that you not stopping and you continuing to try and continuing to reach out and make attempts at strengthening a bond that wasn't even really all that strong to begin with is what made me get to where I am, because I'd feel bad at times and I'd be like, I don't talk to him, I ignore him, I don't try at all. So he must, like, whenever there'd be long periods of you not saying anything,
Right.
and me not saying anything, I'd be like, he must not care anymore. And it'd make me feel terrible, but then I wouldn't reach out because I'd be afraid of like harsh backlash against me.
Yeah.
So, but you continuing to try and you continuing to put your hand out there, just say a word or two words, hey son, Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday. It made me think,
Yeah.
it's probably not going to be that bad once I do.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And that's good. And you're at about the same age that I was at. I was older.
Hmm.
So if you guys don't know, me and my dad's relationship was tricky. He was in the house the entire time I was growing up. and I love him and everything. But he was hard. He was a hard ass, and he made it hard to love him, to be honest. And so I used to go by Taylor. Okay, all through school I went by Taylor, high school and college. When I turned 30, I had an epiphany. I said, I'm a Jackson. So why not go by Jackson, right? I mean, there was nothing keeping me from going by Jackson. I didn't have a wife with the name Taylor. I didn't have kids with the name Taylor. So I started going by Jackson at the age of 30. Homage to my dad. And my brother had kids with his last name already, so he didn't. My sister chose not to. I chose to. You know, so it's sort of similar. You have to make a choice. I also chose to start calling him more because our relationship was terrible. Like he was calling, but he would call once a week, whatever. I wouldn't call. This can't be. Mm-hmm. So I've got to start reaching out more. So I did that with my own dad. Mm-hmm. So I can appreciate Tyler doing that with me. You know.
Yeah. Cheers to that one.
My man.
There we go.
So let me ask you this.
Okay.
When it comes to girls, what's your flavor?
There's so many flavors to choose from.
Hey,
I don't think you should just be confined to one.
Oh.
No, confined to one flavor. I would only like to have one woman, not a whole like roster full of them. No,
okay.
But my type thing is I just like what I like. It's hard to put it down on paper.
And the most, and generally I'm speaking black, white,
yep,
or Hispanic.
Yep.
I mean Asian could be in there if you chose Asian.
Yep. All the above.
So if somebody would ask me that, and if I was single, I'll be like, yeah, I like all women, mm-hmm. right? But you don't have a type?
I really don't. I don't think so. There's not like a type of woman that I'm specifically drawn to. More so just person by person basis.
Personality.
Mm-hmm.
What type of personality are you drawn to?
Did I say personality? I think I just said take it case by case.
So that's a different question then.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for me to narrow it down because I've liked a plethora of different kinds of women in my life. So I can say what I don't like. No, I couldn't even do that, honestly.
Because if you know what you don't like, then you know what you like.
Yeah, it's hard. I can't answer that question.
You can't answer the type of personality in a woman you like.
Okay,
that's gonna keep you
single
or either having heartache.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So take 5 seconds to think about it.
Think about it.
Oh, so because I've seen you, like the women that I've seen you with, I feel like they've been black. Am I wrong?
I've only dated one black girl.
For the long, then your heart must have been in it.
The most recent.
The most?
Yeah, my most recent ex. I think
y'all on again, off again, because I feel like
it was on again.
Yeah, it was. She was. You had another black girl a long time, but that must have been her too.
No,
the same black girl.
Yeah, same girl.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
but before her, other than her, they've been white.
Yeah.
Yep. You giving your heart to a white girl?
Giving my heart?
Yeah. Because I know you gave your heart to her. Because I can tell you was hurt.
I was. Yeah, that was. Ooh.
So have you given your heart to anybody else?
No. Okay, so take from that what you will, I guess. Yeah. You know, you just gotta be. I'm a very understanding person.
Yeah.
So if you could try to, I mean, I'm not gonna say try to match that level because a lot of people are often very surprised about the things I can digest and sort out and not be upset about.
Right.
So you don't really got to match that level, but you know, at least try to be kind of there, or make the effort to be.
Right.
Be nice, you know. You don't got. I don't want somebody that's just gonna be like rude for no reason, or rude for the benefit of their enjoyment. Like that's not fun to me.
Right.
It's not funny to me. I don't want to be mean to somebody
Right.
just because you feel like being mean that day.
Right.
You know, kindness spreads.
Right.
Meanness infects.
Meanness is the worst thing you can be is mean.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I will say this. When I was younger, I don't know if I ever told you this, but I used to be a bodyguard.
Mm-hmm.
4th grade, I was a bodyguard.
Okay.
Trent Parrish.
Name dropped him on the.
Me and Kevin Brazil. I don't know if Kevin remember. He commissioned us with quarters, dimes, nickels, and candy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he had the good kind too. His parents had money. To be his bodyguard.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people this, I laugh when I tell it, because it was the easiest job in the world. Because all we had to do was keep other white boys from beating this white boy up. So it was like the easiest job. But I've been hating bullies ever since then.
Mm-hmm.
You know, bullies irk me. They get my mad on. You know, I can't stand when somebody is bigger than somebody picking on them or treating them bad. You know, but you know, meanness is a reason for that.
I wish I knew where you were when I was in the 3rd grade, because I sure needed a bodyguard.
Oh, all you had to say was, "Mommy, buy me some candy." So I can pay these boys off. You know, you could have found somebody.
I just got.
So you had bullies in 3rd grade, man?
No, but I got my first fight in 3rd grade.
Oh, really?
And it lasted 3 days.
You was fighting every day for 3 days?
For 3 days.
Good.
Yeah.
No matter if you won or lost.
Got beat up all 3 days, but I won the 3rd day.
You did?
I did. Like, he beat me up whole recess until I wanted to kick him in the stomach, but my foot landed a little lower than that. But I mean, I still won at the end of the day. It was a dub for me.
Sometimes you gotta fight dirty.
I lost the battle, but I won the war.
That is so funny, man. Did your mom know?
Oh yeah, she knew, because so at the end of it, I see my crush. I'm not gonna name drop who my crush was in the 3rd grade, but I saw my crush running out to the soccer field, and in my head, I'm like, she been see it, because I know she saw me get beat up the last 2 days, and she definitely saw me got beat up that day. So I was like, she just saw me win. She's coming over here. She's gonna take me up in her arms and stuff. We gonna hug and spin around. She runs up to him. She's like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" Man, that crushed me. And then she came up, was helping him up, and all her friends ran over. And then the teachers found out about it one way or the other. And we had in-school suspension for like a week.
3rd grade.
Yeah, 3rd grade. Yeah, instead of recess, we had to walk a circle in the gymnasium while the teacher supervised us.
Y'all lucky he didn't make y'all hold hands.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It was.
I love that.
Hey, I'll take that over getting actually suspended.
Yeah.
That would have been rough. All right, let's see here. What did you want to be when you were a child?
A gynecologist.
Are you for real?
I'm dead serious.
Why?
Because of the Cosby Show. Because of Heathcliff Huxtable.
Okay.
I wanted to be what he was. He was the man. And I wanted to be him. I wanted a big family because he had a big family. I wanted to be a gynecologist because he was.
Okay, so it was less for immature reasons and more because you had an idol.
I didn't know what it meant.
Okay.
I didn't know you had to be good in school.
Okay.
Hey, on the show, his parents said he wasn't even good in school.
Man.
He became a doctor.
So you just thought.
I said, well, I'm right up my alley.
Okay.
Right up my alley.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I
Interesting.
wanted to be.
Not what I expected at all.
What did you want to be as a kid?
As a kid, I wanted to be a musician for sure. That's the one profession that stuck all the way up into adulthood.
Okay.
That's what I wanted.
Okay.
I love to sing. I've always loved to sing.
Yeah.
I remember when you would drive up
Mhm.
to, or you guys would meet halfway, I guess, but sometimes you would come up all the
Mhm.
way up to get me, and we would play that alphabet rapping game where we would rap with words of the
You
alphabet.
love that, huh?
Yeah, that was super fun. That was my stuff. I remember that.
Yeah.
So that helped fuel it. I remember you bought me the Jackson 5 Classic CD.
You love that thing.
I-
said, okay,
I
let
don't
me
have it
put
now,
in.
but I had it for like 10 years after you bought it, and I would listen to it every time I took a shower.
I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you wanted it, I was hurt. I was secretly hurt. But it was no way I wasn't going to give it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have bought another one, but I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a great CD. I'm glad you loved it.
Yep. That helped fuel it.
So when you say musician, though,
I wanted to be a singer.
okay,
Yeah, I wanted to sing.
because Evan say the same thing. Some musician is instrument driven, in my
Okay.
opinion.
Okay.
So yeah, you want to be a musician,
Yeah,
learn
I
an
wanted to
instrument.
be a
is what I would
singer.
say. You want to be a singer,
Mhm.
and your voice can be your instrument.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah. So if you guys do not know, when he was in Oklahoma, he tried out for
The Voice.
The Voice, and I went up there, and I don't think Mr. let me see you. To be honest,
Yeah.
I saw you like 2 seconds. I didn't get to see the performance, but how did you do?
So they told me to come back next year or come back in a couple
Your voice
years.
was stronger.
Yeah,
They
I
said,
think personally, I think I chose the
yeah.
wrong song, but it's okay. It's okay. I was like 14 or 15.
Yeah, and he
So-
seemed to me he seemed shy.
I was
Did you
definitely.
get in there and did you?
Oh, I sang. I didn't freeze up and like forget words or anything. But I think the song I chose was just so reliant. Well, my voice was super high back then.
Mhm.
You guys would be surprised if I could talk how 14-year-old Tyler spoke. It's a shocking difference. I had a very high pitched voice back then.
Yeah.
Um, I think the song just needed me to be a little higher than I was.
Really.
Yeah,
Do you
but I
remember the
love.
song?
Yeah, I do. It
What was the
was
song?
Not in That Way by Sam Smith.
I remember Sam Smith, but I don't remember Not in That Way. Can you
Mhm.
give us a little taste?
No.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, of course.
Give us a little taste.
No.
Your voice is a lot better
It is a
now.
lot better, but I'm not trying to do all that on the podcast. We're going to karaoke after this. I'm saving up for that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but okay, yeah, man. So now that's what's up. You've been doing that. Was that the only time?
That's the only time I
Voice
tried out
came.
for like a conversation, like a competition or anything like that. Mhm.
Okay.
Which I would, again, if one came nearby. But I don't think I would go out of my way to go somewhere for it. I don't know.
Sometimes you gotta
Maybe I would.
believe in
Even just
yourself.
saying that didn't even feel right, honestly, just
Yeah.
now. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
yeah,
We'll see what the future holds.
yeah, man. Absolutely. Dude. So you lived in Wichita, Oklahoma, and Florida.
Yeah.
What was your favorite? And Texas, like I said.
Yeah, I did. Probably Florida.
Really?
I mean, I would move back, but not right now. I like where I'm at
Mhm.
now, and I like the people I surround myself with
Uh-huh.
in Kansas.
Mhm.
And I have really a strong foundation of friendship,
Mhm.
and family there.
Mhm.
But I did enjoy living in Florida a lot. I didn't want to move there initially. I was actually very
Upset?
distraught and going through it on the move there. It was hard. Shed a lot of tears. It was not a choice I was happy about, but I adjusted super fast.
How old were you when you moved?
15.
How long did you stay?
Like 7 months. Because my parents split up after.
Right after y'all moved down there?
Well, after the school year. So I moved there for the second semester of my sophomore year,
What-
and then like later that summer they split.
Was
So we moved back to
Florida,
Kansas.
was Florida an impetus for them splitting? Like, was it just hard being in Florida? Did your mom not want to be in
Yeah,
Florida?
it was hard. Some things happened. It was hard.
Yeah.
And some things happened, and we left.
Yeah.
But I do love it, and I'm still close with some people from there,
Okay.
and I talk to them. It varies from daily to weekly to monthly, but we keep in good enough contact that we're still close. You know?
Like young adults, like people you met at the school. and
Yeah.
stuff.
And the weather was great. I liked going to school there. I didn't pass not one class but choir, but I enjoyed going to school there. I enjoyed the choir program there more than any other program I've been in.
Did you really?
That
You
was my
enjoyed
favorite.
choir in Florida over Kansas, Oklahoma?
Yep. It was super cool. The weather's obviously great.
So what made choir better in Florida?
Maybe it
I'm
was
interested.
okay. So in Oklahoma, Miss Horton, the middle school, I don't know if she still works at Mustang North, but she was my Mustang North choir teacher. I loved her. She's like up there, top 2 for my favorite teachers I've ever had, period.
Mhm.
But the teacher, just like, I don't know, maybe just, it was middle school, and I did choir in high school there too, but I think it was just the group that was around me.
Mhm.
And the teacher in Florida, I forget his name. I get a lot of choir teachers' names mixed up, so I could say what I think it was, but it's probably a different teacher I've had before.
Yep.
He was super cool though. The group was super cool. We would all like convene to the choir room for like lunch and stuff.
Mhm.
It was I just really enjoyed it. And everybody in the choir that was part of it made me feel good.
Okay.
You know, there wasn't in past, like in Oklahoma, there was times where I wouldn't say that other people in the choir were bullyish, but they weren't. I think Florida was just like more welcoming and more accepting and willing to
That's wild.
talk to me and understand me and not like push me out because I'm the new kid.
Right.
And I wasn't even the new kid in Oklahoma, but that's just how some of the groups were divided, where it's like, I don't know you, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay away from you and maybe be a little mean here and there.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like that in Florida. They were all very accepting and completely different people. It's like it's not all the same personality in one
Right.
classroom.
Right.
Completely different people, but all willing to get to know somebody.
Yeah.
And I mean, of course, there are people that I didn't get close with, or even people I didn't care to get close with, and people that I probably didn't like all that much.
Yeah.
But they still treated me well. You know?
Okay.
And we treated each other well.
Yeah. No, that's interesting, man. Because Florida has some of the best football in the country, and Texas does too. So and Georgia and California. So I'm always interested to know the difference in the states and the personalities and stuff. So you said that choir was the best.
Yeah, it's my favorite for sure.
That's what's up.
It was great.
Yeah.
Okay, Dad. Let's see. Let me mark off the ones I've asked you. Oh, there we go. All right. What do you wish you spent less time doing when you were my age?
When I was 24?
24.
Oh, okay. Probably chasing girls.
Okay.
And a lot of time. Well, I had a girlfriend, so I wasn't chasing girls at 24. So I'm gonna get that straight. But just as a young man, just as a young man, when I was his age, I actually had my shit together. I had my little to-do list and working that every day and doing my thing. But just as a young man, I think I spent a lot of time chasing girls when I could have been focusing on my career or setting myself up for the future, that type of thing. And that's just what I feel. And ain't nothing wrong like with chasing girls, like we have off time. No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But the amount of time, you got to be able to time manage better.
Yeah.
I think I could have been managed my time better as a young man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So cross that. Cross that one off the list. So let me ask you this. So you have 3 grandparents that passed. Your mom's dad, my mom, and my dad. Okay. Anything specific that you can say about each one of those? I know you spend a lot more time with your mom's dad, so you probably but just specific memory or anything that comes to mind regarding your 3 grandparents that are passed on. Because I know Miss Linda is still living. I love Miss Linda.
I do
I
too.
always have. But go ahead.
Okay. Well, the first thing that pops up about Pawpaw,
Which Papa?
your dad,
Okay.
is not necessarily a memory, but a way I do remember him. Is I wear this ring every day. It says dad on it. I only take it off to clean it. I did lose it one time, and my world, you would have thought it shattered, because I thought I left it at a certain someone's house, and I was like, oh, I'm never going to see it again. But I did not. I found it. He had 2 of them. How I remember it is he had 2 of them, and one of them was way too big for my fingers, and this one was smaller. So you kept that one, and I took this one. So yeah, it's switched fingers before it found its home over here. But I used to wear it like right here, and then I didn't like how that looked, and I tried a couple different things.
I love it.
I do wear it every day. Never take it off.
So I'm sure he's happy about that.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Because I have memories with them for sure, but you were right to say that I did spend a lot more time with my grandpa, than I did him. So they're a little hazy. They're not as vivid in my mind.
For sure.
And I can say the same about my grandma.
Okay.
I do remember. I want to say it was just me. I know I've talked about this on the pod before, where I went on a trip with her and a couple other older women.
So Johnny, what would you?
Johnny might have been there.
I want to say she was.
She probably was.
I remember the trip.
But I remember sitting in the middle seat and being like, what is going on here? It was just a fun time, and they're all showering me with compliments and stuff, and just making it as fun as possible for me. I think maybe they could tell I was a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Or not even uncomfortable, but just nervous. I was a very shy child.
Your mom passed away in 2016, so I don't even remember the last time you saw her. Do you?
Right.
Yeah, so it probably was, because at that point I wasn't even seeing you that much.
Yeah, I remember what she sounded like though. And I remember what she looked like, and that's important.
Yep. What about your mom's dad?
Oh, my grandpa. Probably him sneaking me sips of his Crown and Coke or Crown and Dr. Pepper or whatever it would be. Sneaking sips of them. They're in NASCAR. Or I have a video on my phone. We would play SingStar all the time.
Your grandpa played that with you?
Yeah, he would play with us. And there's a video we have. My aunt made a TikTok of it recently that almost brought a tear to my eye.
I need to see that too.
But he would just sit there and I'd be singing like I Want You Back in the video. I'm singing I Want You Back. And he's sitting there showing me how to do a certain type of dance move. And I was like 8 or 9 years old.
Yeah.
But just making sure I enjoy things to the fullest.
Yeah. So I remember your grandpa vividly. I remember him and my mom didn't like each other very much.
No.
And
I can see that.
Yeah. But I don't feel like I never felt like he didn't like me
Mhm.
so much.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, he might have put on this persona, but I wasn't really. It didn't really affect me like it affected my people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, so you know, I have vivid memories of it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think he ever treated me bad.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, actually, this isn't the best memory of Paul.
Yeah.
Your dad. That's how I differentiate the two.
Okay.
Because that's all I've ever called him. I've never called him Chris.
For sure. That's always good.
I remember we went to visit and we went to get food at this barbecue place. And I saw the first thing on the menu I recognized was Sloppy Joe's. So I was like, I like Sloppy Joe's. I'm gonna get that. And you got like some like salad thing. I don't remember, but it looked nicer than what I had.
There?
Yeah, you were there.
Oh.
You took it. Me and you went.
Oh, okay.
And we get back to the house and we're eating. And I take one bite of that. It was so gross, man. It was nasty. And I did not want to eat it. I did not want to. And I was like, no, I don't like this. And he was like, well, you're going to eat it. That's what you asked for.
Yeah, eat it now.
And I complained for a little bit, and you were like, well, here, Tyler, I'll switch with you. And he was like, no, you're not going to switch with him. He's going to eat that food.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, he did. And you guys got in a little argument about it, and I cried. And I remember that. I mean, I did end up eating it.
He was a character.
But I did not want to.
I remember when I took you to Marshall, and your mom gave explicit instructions not to cut your hair.
Oh, you did. I know about that.
Yeah, but this is the thing. He went and got it cut, but he didn't cut it like it was more trimmed than cut. So I was still like, she told you not to do that, Dad. But then I wasn't really tripping like your mom was because it looked good. It was like edged up and trimmed up. I don't know what her. It wasn't like a bad cut at all. But
she didn't say it looked bad. Yeah. She just said that there was a lot more going than what you guys claimed there was. Because you can say it looked good, but I went from how I hear it is, I went from a lot of hair to not a lot of hair. And it still looked nice, but it was not nearly as much hair as I had on my head before.
Well, yeah, it might be hazy, but I felt like I was upset with my dad because he disobeyed your mom, not because of actual stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Oh, he did that a lot of times.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
I love my dad, but he was old school in a lot of ways, baby. Now, my mom, to be honest, I don't remember the last time she had it, bro. I don't remember the last time we was together. She got so sick. Like it was like 2011, 2012 when she really started becoming disabled. Yeah. Yeah. So
which I think I remember probably sometime around that time.
It had to be summer 2012 when I took you to A&M camp. I'm sure
seeing her at her apartment.
But after
on the couch.
I'm not sure, I didn't see you 2 years after that.
Yeah.
From 2012, 2015.
Yep. It was a stretch.
From straight A's to what the hell you doing in ninth grade,
Absolutely
man?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not a thing.
Oh, man, it blew my mind.
Not a thing.
Yeah.
All right, last one I got written down here. What are you most passionate about in your work?
So, my work is I'm a teacher and a coach. So, those two things are two different things. So they could be two different passions, right? But my work is kids, right? That's what I do. I work with kids. That's my passion, man. I mean, I love giving kids information that will help moving forward, that will help their lives going forward. That will. I want to be a positive influence on kids. That's what teachers and coaches. That's our role. That's our life. It's kids. you gotta love it. I mean, you can't. I don't think you can be in the kid business and be okay with them,
Right.
or be fine with them.
Right.
I feel like you gotta love kids, you know,
Yeah.
and as a teacher or a coach, and so, you know, that would probably be my biggest passion. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying?
And there was a second part to it, but I feel like it can be answered with the same answer. But I'll ask, what drives you to come, like, get up and go in every day? Because I know it must get hard. Everything gets hard.
The older you get, the harder it gets.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. You know, so as you get older, I mean, your passion stays the same, but there could be different motivators,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And a big one is a paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
As you get older, your paycheck increases,
Yeah.
and so you be like, "Oh, I gotta go to work today, baby."
Is that what it is currently in this moment for you? That drives you to get up and go teach and coach every day?
No.
Okay.
The people I work with is a big part of it. Yeah, I work with some good people. I'm gonna just be honest. I work with some really good people, and that's a big part of why I enjoy getting up, going to work. You know, the work is hard. It's harder, man. They making teachers do so much more nowadays. It's not about, although I'm a case manager, I have a lot of kids under me, case manager and a coach. There's a lot more to it, a lot of paperwork and stuff that would make, a lesser man be like, man, I'm done.
Yeah.
I enjoy the people I work with, and I enjoy the kids.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's simple.
All right.
So let me ask you this, man. So what number do you just? I'm actually just what value is most important to you? Like, what value do you hold on to, and maybe how did you come to choose that one value as the most important?
Probably understanding.
Okay, explain.
Like, I feel like I, as a kid, felt very misunderstood.
Okay.
And I mean, most kids do in a plethora of ways. But I mean, it didn't leave once I wasn't a kid anymore. I became a teenager, and it remained. I became a young adult, and it remained. And now, I feel like I know what it feels like to be misunderstood and to feel as though people don't get whether it's what I'm saying or how I'm behaving or just who I am in general. I know it's like for people to not understand it, whether they didn't put any effort towards understanding it in the first place or they did and it just didn't happen,
Yeah.
So I try my darndest to understand any and everything that comes my way, whether it's a person, understanding who they are and why they are the way they are,
Yeah.
or what they did and why they got to the point to where they did that, and what made them, behave that way, what makes them be who they are. I just understanding and having the understanding for literally any situation you can be put in is probably the most important thing.
Understanding. Yeah. Absolutely.
And there's things that come with that. Like,
You
you can't be the most understanding person in the world if you can't tolerate bullshit. Or you can't be a tolerable person in general. Not even just tolerating bullshit, but just tolerating rah-rah or whatever. Because you'll have to be able to sift through that to understand.
Absolutely.
What it is.
And I'll add to that. I feel like the most important characteristic a person can have is perspective. And that sort of goes with understanding. It's just a little bit more, on the understanding side. But when you have perspective and you can not only see both sides, but understand fully both sides or all three sides or whatever, then then you'll be in a situation that you can navigate, for your benefit.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying, more clearly. But know that word, perspective.
Yeah,
You want to gain perspective in all situations.
for sure.
Yeah, and it'll push your life forward in a positive direction.
I feel like it has. You know?
Absolutely.
It's very. See, a lot of people go through things where they lose friends constantly. Like they'll pick up friends, lose them, pick up friends, lose them,
Mhm.
and it's like they're like, I just don't understand what's going on. It's like because you're not trying to.
Yeah.
You encounter a small problem with this person, and it's like balls to the walls. We're done. You
Exactly.
didn't even give them an opportunity to explain themselves, and when
Exactly.
they did, you didn't listen.
Yep.
And I look at it like, how would you feel if somebody did that to you?
Right.
And that's how I feel like I've been treated a lot in my life. So that's why I give people maybe more chances than I should. But I'll give you the chances I need to give you for me to understand why you're behaving the way you are. And I don't get everything. I'm not going to sit here. I know I've touted myself this whole episode as some understanding guru, the guy that gets it all. I don't get it all, but I try to.
Have you ever given up on somebody, given them enough, and then said, "All right, I've given enough chances. I'm done with you."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine too.
I've also given up on people for I've given myself one too many opportunities
Okay.
with you.
Yeah.
So not even just giving you too many opportunities with me, but giving myself too many with you, and realize that it's time to stop things.
Yeah.
Whether it's relationship or friendship,
Yeah. Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
and I mean, you got to know when to cut it.
Right.
You have to.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a different level for every, because again, it's a case by case thing.
Right.
It's a different level for whatever situation you're in.
Right.
But you just got to be able to recognize when enough's enough. And if by the time I realize that and I still don't get it, I still got to choose me at the end. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to get everything. I'm not going to understand everything,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm going to try my hardest to.
Right.
Within the means of my mental state. And,
So, talk to them about how do you feel about church? Like, I feel like when you were younger, like you was going to church a lot.
Yeah, I used to be a little church boy. I'd go every Wednesday for sure.
You said little church boy.
Well, not like that much, but I would go every Wednesday for sure.
Yeah.
And on and off some
I remember
Sundays.
that.
And then I stopped when we moved, and I kind of got resentful. I just didn't like. I liked going to church, and I enjoyed it.
Yep.
But whenever I didn't want to go anymore, I didn't like that people would try to press me into it, and to not. I don't want to say force it on me, but kind of like that, just press it on me and make me do things. Because then it made me feel like, are you just trying to It's like I would go through a period where it's like, okay, I don't know if I believe in this. I have went to church a lot.
Yep.
And it is something I believed in, but you go through those moments where you're like, well, maybe it's not all that it thought it was.
Right.
But then when on top of that, you're having those doubts, on top of that, people are trying to force you back into it.
Right.
Then it got me in a resentful state where it's like, okay, no, I'm not doing this at all. Because you're telling me everything that I think I'm seeing.
Right.
So I don't want to do that. And I remember we got in some arguments, at least one that I remember off the top of my head while I was down here about it. And it wasn't even really an argument. It was probably was a bigger deal to me than it was to you.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know. I'm okay with it now. I feel like I've regarded myself as a non-believer a lot in my adult life, but at this, I'm still scared of hell. So I feel like if I'm afraid of hell, I kind of believe. I can't sit here and be like, man, I hope I don't go to hell, and then say I don't believe in God. So I would go to church.
So when you were going, those every Wednesday, what was that for? Was that like Bible study? Was it church services?
It was service, like youth service.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You have good people?
Yeah.
There was good people?
Yeah, I love them. I'm still friends with them on Facebook and stuff. I don't really talk to a lot of them anymore, but still great people. Yeah,
And they
great group.
And you had a Bible, and they worked through the Bible with you, type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because growing up, I was always in church, and yet I had a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Bible studies. I had chaplains, and so I'm definitely, I consider myself a Christian, someone that believes in Christ and believes He died for my sins. However, the Bible, I feel like there's some contradictions,
Mm-hmm.
and so it sort of, it made me question certain things.
Yeah.
Not everything, but certain things.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see how a young man like yourself can be in that same state, because I was in that state when I was your age.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think anybody's been able to answer my question fully.
Yeah.
But
and it's not to say like I'm very open-minded.
Yeah.
So I could be open to being convinced that it's just not, but again, my background, I used to go to church a lot, quite often. So I feel like it's kind of ingrained in me to believe.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, I can say I don't believe in God all day, but I'm scared of hell, bro. How are you scared of hell but you don't believe in God? That's what it comes back to me. And I mean, I do believe. It's just faith.
I mean, I just don't believe. I just don't see how. I'm not gonna even go there. I'm gonna just say that I believe that I don't believe that we were just created out of
Nowhere.
nowhere. Yeah. So there has to be something higher than us.
Yeah.
Right. And then as far as other life forms, I'm not naive enough to feel like planet Earth is the only one that has life forms. Yeah. So that there is those discussions.
Yeah.
I'm not like a flat earther.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you see enough round images from telescopes, and you feel like the shit is round.
Yeah. And
I ain't seen a flat one yet.
I ain't seen a disc in there. I ain't seen a space frisbee yet.
But I have a homeboy that's
Believes
flat
in flat earth.
earther. Yeah. And he makes some valid points.
No, that does not.
I'm like, damn, bro, I ain't even think like that.
And then you do a quick Google search. And all his points get flushed down the toilet. That's how it always is with the flat earth. They sound good to the ear.
Sounds great.
And then you Google it and you're like, oh, it's just a bunch of...
But I don't even want to Google it, because then I'm going to let him have his moment.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I'll let him have his moment. But he doesn't change my mind. And I don't change his. So it is, right? Yeah. Okay. All right, man. Yeah. So now, I know it's over an hour.
Yeah.
What time is it?
8:46.
Okay. So.
I'm ready to sleep.
All right. So we'll get back to sports probably in a couple of days. Yeah. We just wanted to come on here, man, and say what's up to the people. Talk. About he and I, and get to know each other better, and And I feel like we've done that.
Yeah.
You know, Tyler's come a long way. I've come a long way. I feel like our relationship has come a long way.
For sure.
Right?
What is that?
My man.
Come on. What is this? What kind of dap is this, Dad?
No, this is how you dap, brother.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how you dap. That's how you dap.
Okay.
That's how you dap.
Okay.
Hey, so
We're gonna have to work on that.
yeah, because we don't have any. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in.
Yes, of course.
My firstborn, I love him. And I appreciate him working on us, right?
Mhm.
And you know, as long as he tried, I'm gonna try. Even when he stopped trying, I'm gonna still try.
Yep.
We're gonna figure this thing out before too long.
There we go.
Yeah. So, we're finna go to karaoke.
Yes, we are. You know,
I'll watch him do his thing.
he's gonna sing a song. At least one. At least one. So, thank you everybody for tuning in. Like, comment, share, subscribe.
Yeah, there.
Like father, like son. Peace out.
Peace out, baby.